We are alive. Back with
Oh
more
boy.
Shuffle Bus. Man, you playing Rin. You know, it's so funny. Like, the Discord channel has been alive with Rin today. Like, people have
Really?
just been talking, like, about Rin a ton. And so I'm excited to see that you're playing Rin. Not gonna lie.
Oh, that is not why. I was gonna play the no fun deck, but when I realized we were gonna play on TTS, I did not want to
Deal with that?
attempt the game actions it required
Sure.
on TTS.
Well, we're gonna find out if Fiona is a good Phoenix Born or not here.
But
But, anyways, so having a good Thursday. We're back with Thursday Ashes. Thirsty Thursday, but I'm drinking water today because still have a cough. That's why we're on
yeah, quit
TTS.
being sick.
I can't help it, man. Don't leave in like 2 weeks.
That's not my fault.
Like, uh huh. Uh-huh.
How come we're not live? I just looked us up on Twitch.
I don't know. It says we're streaming.
Go. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's gonna be loud and echoey. Oh, I did it. Oh, I'm so great.
Neil is the best.
Yep. There we go. Let me put
That's so funny.
some hype in the
Hype, 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 hype.
chat.
Hey, hype. You know, we got to do the world's best trier, right? Like,
You can't even read it though. It makes me
I
sad.
know. We're gonna have to fix that. We're gonna have to find some different emotes for that part. So, I'm trying some new stuff. I don't know. OBS has some docs for Twitch, so I'm changing things up a little bit. So if y'all are like start talking and you don't see me responding for some reason, like let me know because I saw your chat come across, but I was able to build like essentially what I do on my um, Chrome browser right inside of OBS. And if you don't know much about Chrome, it's sort of a memory hog. So between TTS running, OBS running, and
Yeah.
Chrome, like my computer just starts going and gives me a kind of the giant middle finger. So I think that's part of some
Yeah,
of my
Chrome is
problems.
definitely a hog for sure.
And you know we have some other stuff running in the background as well, like we're chatting through Discord. So um, yeah, which is I'm gonna give a little plug. You know what is going on, man?
Taylor in the house.
Yep. Um, thanks for coming back and putting up with us. But yeah, if you haven't joined our Discord and you want to chat with me because Neil doesn't participate in Discords at all. Um,
Very, very rarely. I am subscribed to a lot of them and I read stuff, but I like nobody wants to hear what I have to say anyway.
you got some auto tune action on the main audio. Wonder what's going on there. Can you hear it, Neil?
On I I can't. You sound fine coming through Discord. I'm gonna mute myself and listen to the stream real quick.
How about now? Are
So I go,
we? Is that better? I think something funky was happening. Can you hear me? Are we okay now, Neil? Thanks for the heads up, Big.
yeah,
Appreciate it, man.
it sounds okay to me when I put it on my phone.
And you guys can all hear Neil now? Okay, cool. I think this guy is my problem. So let me fix this really fast. There
Thanks
we
for the
go.
heads up.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I don't want to be all robo all night.
Yeah, I wonder. I haven't listened to our playback from the FAB, so I hope we don't have that going on. But if we do, then
I think
oh
somebody
well.
would have told us.
You would hope. So
We had a bunch of people talking in chat, so
we did. So all right, so Neil, we're gonna play some Ashes Reborn again tonight. We're still got a few minutes until we're gonna get started, but let's just talk. Like you're gonna play Rin tonight.
this
What?
was a thing I threw together in like the last 20 minutes. Just because like I said, I had the like deck list for the no fun deck,
Mm-hmm.
but it has a lot of like discard pile actions,
Yeah,
and I just don't want to do that in TTS.
that
It's
makes sense.
like right click on the discard pile, search for a card, flip it over, put it into my draw pile. Like Like that's an action that in real life, I can do very swiftly while talking,
Mm-hmm.
but in TTS is just kind of a pain. And since that is an action I would take many times in a row with that deck, I decided that I should play something else. So this is like generic control type deck
Well,
with Rin as the hero.
now see, my problem is I've spent all week preparing to not have any fun tonight, and now you're going to put me through a whole nother week of not being able to have any fun. Like,
You might have fun
thanks for
tonight. I don't
that.
know. You don't know anything.
I yeah, yeah, that's true. I don't. It's best to not know things
I'm gonna
sometimes.
play
So
this Rin guy. He looks kind of like a douche.
let's do.
What does what do?
Like, click your flip token to change first player. What's that do? Nothing.
I don't know. Here's the first player token.
I know. I was just curious. It actually, because it's like clickable. I don't know what that does. So
What do you mean? What do you mean it's clickable? Everything's clickable.
yeah, but I don't text there. Assume that that's something. Whatever.
I think it's just a reminder.
All right. So
Get rid of it. It's gone forever.
look for
Damn
it. um. Okay.
it. I'm not sure what my first 5 is either.
Ooh, I got a blank card. That's not good. Chat. Anybody know how to fix a blank card?
Put text on it.
I'm sorry, Neil. We're gonna have to. I gotta figure out. I think that's in Koji, right? Jungle Warrior.
I don't know.
So hold on. You're gonna lose your. You're gonna be mad at me.
Oh
Don't,
God.
don't pick your first.
Uh,
There they are. Don't ask me why that. Okay. I have to remind myself on how the charm magic die works now. I think it reduces your attack value by 1 if I put it on your guy, right?
what is it?
Yeah, it's charm reduces the attack by 1.
Yeah.
Do you want your dice reference cards or no?
No, I know what they do.
Yeah.
Sympathy and ceremonial.
Okay, so now we can look. Don't ask me why.
I come all prepared, and
I know, I know, I know. We're still pretty much on time. Dude. Now it loaded. Okay, strange. Um, yeah. So I don't really need these because I had a deck.
all right, I'm gonna get my first 5 now.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Big. That's called the power of delete. um. So I need to group these, and then I'm gonna shuffle my deck and put them back on the top, and then draw 5. That's the easiest way I figured out how to get them into. Maybe I can just draw.
I've just been dragging them. I'm trying to
That work
figure out
for
what
you?
my other. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what my other card's gonna be though. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I built this really fast.
Yeah. I built a version of this deck last week, but it's on my laptop and up is upstairs, and here it is. Quickly put back together.
You can't see my hand, can you?
I cannot.
Okay. I had to like flip them over and I didn't know if it screwed it up.
I don't think so. I think you're good.
All right. All right.
All right, so conjurations go sit over here. Health up to 15. Fiona is one of those 15 health Phoenix borns, so I think that makes her good, but not sure. Um,
Well, they must think that her ability is powerful, if they're like making her that low.
yeah, I what I probably need to do, and I think maybe my first 5 is not supposed to have this card in it. Let me go get one different card because I think at the end of the day, I think I need a different card here. It's this guy.
I kind of wish my deck had an expand energy in it. I like that card a lot.
Expand energy.
It's the like one basic draw up to 2. Like
Yeah,
draw until you have 2 cards in hand.
fair enough.
I remember all these days. Yeah.
Minor fly.
I have 4 basics.
I have 2 basics. You get go first.
I will go first.
So everybody in
Uh,
chat tonight doing good? Anything exciting happened today?
I'm gonna play a main action Summon Fallen
Okay,
and a side action Chant of Worship.
sounds good.
Man, I had a good day.
Good.
Yeah, just real easy day at work. Just laid back. Then I get to come crush you at Ashes.
Yeah, I mean that's possible. All right, so I'm gonna main summon a Squall Stallion. And I'm inside. New ID. This guy. Put a card on the bottom, so three. Here
All
we
right.
go.
I'm gonna main a Magic Siphon.
Okay.
Side action, I am going to meditate a couple here.
First easy day in 2 weeks. Happy to try to get oriented here. So are you? Did you start a new job? Big? Is that what that's about, or is it uh, something else? A lot of dice fixing.
Yeah, I just wanted a couple. I did 4, so I'm gonna just turn all my basics up.
Okay.
Maybe I should do one more. No, I think that'll be good.
Okay.
I just wanted to have some things to get back with my ceremonial dice power.
Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and summon a Squall.
Okay.
Cost this. While Stallion comes into play, place one card from your hand on top or bottom of your
Well,
draw
as
pile.
a side action, yeah.
Yeah, that's a torrent, right? So,
Yeah.
okay, so it just comes in with no status on it, right?
Yep.
And then side action will be play power, spend. Uh, just looking at what dice I still need here. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna ceremonial dice power me a hollow back. And I'm just gonna play it. Go ahead. Oh, when it comes into play, I can lower some dice. So let's take both your natures down to a basic. I thought it was when it died, but when it comes into play.
Go ahead and main builder.
What does this make? It makes like 0 ones.
Yeah, 0/1s that ping for damage when you bring them into play. And then when they die, they put a status token on things.
Yeah, the book does a damage. Yeah, okay. Okay.
And then for a side, hmm. Let's go ahead and meta. Ugh, not the whole book.
You gotta drag it off and then flip it. Yeah.
Your spirit. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Um. Main action. I'm gonna play a River Scold.
Yep.
So I'll draw a card.
Yep.
And I will discard a Master Vampire to do 3 to your Squall Stallion. Then a side action, I will put an Ice Bluff on my, use the Rin ability, put an Ice Bluff on my Hollow. It is +1 life.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and do the side action from Fiona.
Okay.
Bigger ingenuity. Pitch a card. Pitch. Then we'll
Okay.
So will be pass main.
Passing on main action. So and you have those dice left. I'm gonna side action. I'm gonna use the magic siphon.
Okay.
Change one of these to and then I'll choose one of your frogs to become a basic. And I will attack with hollow for
Okay.
2.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Meditate this guy. This. This. Ugh.
Okay. Okay. I will attack Squall Stallion with River Scold. Yep. On side action, I will get a Master Vampire back from my discard pile. Go ahead.
Main action. And this die. Exhaust and power. That is count.
Okay.
Side action will be to do the torrent. Torrent will be
Okay, I'll pass.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna go first. I'll pass as well.
Okay.
that power time.
Oh. Trying to keep my stuff away from yours when I roll it here. Okay.
Struggle, but
Whoa. Don't do that. God dang it. There we go.
oh man. I'm just gonna
You
re-roll
cheating me
these.
over there?
I don't know what they were. Re-roll these. I was just trying to drop them safely, and it didn't work.
You fool. You foolish fool. That's what you get for trying to do anything on Tabletop Simulator.
Right. If anybody was watching, maybe they know what it was, and I can correct them.
This reroll is fine. It's still random. I didn't look, so.
Cool.
Yeah, me too. Didn't you take 2 damage?
I took 4.
Oh, it's on your life total. Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
The
Uh,
All right, so I'm starting us off here. Is that correct?
it is your turn.
Okay.
Yes, Taylor, that's cheating.
If a crit
It's
fail
just like,
a roll in Baldur's Gate, then reload. Is that cheating? No.
yeah, it's cheating. It's just like when you were playing Fire Emblem and when one of your guys would die, you'd restart.
I'm gonna summon a guild.
All right, you got a Gilder. You got a Gilder. Mulligan.
So you
Mulligan.
take. I'm gonna deal 1 to the hollow.
Okay.
Side action of no side. Maybe. Well, hold on a second. Maybe I want a side. I want a side. I want to take this up by 1.
Okay. Um. I am going to play a Chant of Revenge.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna side action to put an Ice Bluff on my
I don't think you can
hollow.
double alteration. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think you can only have 1 alteration on a unit.
You can't have more than 1 alteration.
No.
That's BS.
And otherwise, I'd have gravity trained the hell out of you last week. I
We
could be
only need to
wrong.
be 1 better.
Yeah.
We got to find out.
I mean, if somebody in chat knows, I'm just pretty sure you can only
Somebody know if you
alter.
got more than 1 alteration. It's not like a creature enchantment where I can just put as many on it as I want.
I have to find the rule book. And make me open up Chrome and crash my.
I'm Googling. I am Googling.
Come on. I don't know why I think this. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay. Alteration spells. Which doesn't say that you can't in the alteration description.
I'm looking. I was looking in the glossary down at the bottom, but I'm not seeing it. So I'd say go for it, man. Maybe something we can clarify later.
I will do one more Google search. So this is from long ago. I assume this is not Reborn, but it says, can I attach more than one alteration spell? Sure, you can attach 2 copies of the same alteration spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Ice Bluff on my guy.
Yep.
And then I will be done.
I'm gonna main action, then this, then this, to summon a Squall Stallion.
Okay.
I'm gonna torrent as my side. Actually, they're gonna leave this.
We got 6 viewers now.
Oh,
Say
cool.
hi.
Yeah, be sure to say hello.
If you don't talk to us, you're permanently banned.
A lot of bands to handle.
We won't ban anyone. We need all the love.
So I'm gonna torrent. I gotta put a card.
You
Oh,
did put a card back, it looks like.
yeah, I did. So then I get here, on here. My main and my side.
Okay. It's funny that you're playing Squall Stallion because the Rin card is a reaction that targets units, like just randomly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I had no idea what you were going to play, obviously, but you knew I
Right.
was going to play a Fiona deck with Squall Stallions. You had
I
that
didn't
much
even I didn't
information.
even read that text on Squall Stallion, but that's okay. It's only reactions, right? Yeah. Okay. I will hmm. I'm gonna attack the bigger Squall Stallion with my River Scold
I'll defend it.
as unit guard.
Yep.
Okay. Sure.
Gilder dies. Get a status token. Put smaller.
Side action. Um I'm gonna use the magic siphon.
Okay.
I'm gonna do both me, not you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna spend this, this to play an Essence Druid.
Hmm. I like that
As
card a
when
lot.
this unit comes to play, you may search discard profile ready spell and place it in your search. We are going to get Summon Mirror Spirit. Side action for the turn will be discard killer.
Okay. All right. I will play a Master Vampire.
Okay.
Basic and Goat Face and a Sympathy class. Um, and then I don't want to do the side action here. Nope, I will just say go.
Okay. Okay. Can't be guarded against. Means I can't guard units. Vampire's going to prey on you. 4 life.
I think this card's super good.
Which card? Vampire?
Vampire, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to interact with it.
Concede?
No.
Oh,
No. No.
all right.
Um, I think my best bet is the Torrent. So I'm going to put this card on the bottom. And 2 status tokens for my side action. 2. I think I just have to attack your van. You can still just defend with a ring. This is okay. I'm going to try to attack your vampire with this.
What does it do?
Reduces its attack power by 2.
Um, I am forced to counter, yes?
Yes.
Is that what it is? Um, I'm gonna block with the Rin.
Okay. Pick 2. And
All right.
there you go.
I am going to have Master Vampire attack uh the 3-power Stallion.
Can't guard it, right? Guarded.
Yep.
Counter.
Yep. And I heal one from my Phoenix Born when this thing kills a unit.
Unit or an ally? Oh, unit. Pretty good.
Then do I have a side action? No, no side action.
Yeah. Fielder.
Okay.
Shoot.
Okay.
Side action.
I'm gonna put a bunch of counters on my things that when an ally dies, I get counters.
Um. No side.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a side. I'm gonna. Ugh, went off the deck. My cursor was over the deck, but it some reason grabbed.
I'm gonna use the Chain of Worship to draw a card. Side action, I will use the Chant of Revenge to ding you for one. Go ahead.
Main action, play mirror. No side.
Okay. I'll play Vampire. Sorry, this I have to spend the goat face.
World is my.
What?
My TTS just like spun out.
Weird. No side action. Well, maybe I'll meditate. Hang on. I think I will meditate here. I'll make one goat face. Then you can go.
Okay. Um. I'm just getting chewed up. Hmm. Come on. Sorry. Not.
Yeah, you're On my end, it's showing you go from like 60 ping to like 300 ping to 60 ping to 200 ping to 60 ping. Like,
I don't know what's going on tonight with it. Um, that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna side action charm your vampire.
okay.
I'm
She
gonna
is a 2/4.
I'm gonna attack with my squall.
Okay, that's fine. I will counter it. But give your charm dice back. I'm gonna put some counters on my when they die things.
Ugh. Almost unplayable tonight.
Yeah, sorry.
I know that's not your fault. Okay.
Okay. Um, I will. You got one card in hand and 2 dice left and some random stuff back here. I'm gonna fester your stallion.
Okay. We'll get the stallion.
Then side action will be no side action.
Okay.
Okay.
Good lord, like that was dragging a
Yeah, I
token.
see that. I can see where your like hand is. That's weird.
And I guess I'll choose you.
Yep.
And it fell through. Fell
Sweet.
through the card. Okay. And it is your turn. No side.
I'm gonna meditate. Uh, and then I'm going to pass.
Okay.
No, not pass. Sorry, I have to attack with hollow. Let's attack mirror spirit with hollow.
One with the Gilder.
Yep, that's fine.
One main attack Ren for 2. Mirror Spirit.
What happened?
I'm attacking with the Mirror Spirit at Ren for 2.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna do it to the hollow. Sorry. I should kill that hollow with all those ice balls.
Okay. I am gonna get you at the Rin's Fury here.
Okay.
And then on my turn, I will pass.
Yes.
Whoops. My bad. Hang on. I'll re-roll. I like rolled and then I hit flip this thing around, but I still need selected, so it like turns the sides of the dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
The hollow has recover. Even worse for me. Like, I don't think I can beat you.
Feels like you're in a bad way. Um, I'm gonna go. Main action. Let's just go side action. I'll use this thing, and I will flip these two goats. Uh, Main action, play hollow,
Yep.
and I'll turn um, your nature class to a basic, and one of your sympathy classes to a basic.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Stallion.
Yep. Okay.
I still have a side action.
Oh yeah.
Side action. Bottom. Warrant.
Yep.
Nah, it's your turn.
Okay. I will send the big. I'm gonna attack your Squall Stallion with my River Scald.
Okay. Take the two.
Yep. And then side action, I'll do a damage to you with Chant of Revenge. Go ahead.
Main action, summon a Gilder.
Yep.
So do one to the hollow that's unprotected. One's been. Oh no, this one, the big one
I
hasn't.
use the River Scald to
Yeah, yeah.
attack.
We'll do the one to the hollow that's exposed.
Put some counters on my things.
You get one on Chant as Chant Worship.
It only gets one if it doesn't have one on it.
Got it. Okay.
Um, Play Scald.
Okay.
Discard Vampire to kill your horse. And side action. Let's put a Ice Bluff on this unexhausted River Scald. Wow, TTS. There we go. Go ahead.
Hmm. This Warrior.
Okay. This is that card. I don't know what it does.
C2.
Spend one exhaustion token. Card's interesting.
Yeah. Side action will be to discard a card. Go ahead.
I'm gonna use the Chanto Worship and draw card.
Okay.
Side action, I'll play a Revenge.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Main action. Summon. Hold on. I'll meditate one.
Okay. I am gonna play Anchornaut.
Okay.
Let's do one to your Stallion.
Okay.
Side action, I will use the Ceremonial Power Dice to pick up a Vampire. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's have Essence Druid attack.
I'll block with the anchor knot. Got a side action.
Thinking what is
Oh,
happening?
DTS. I don't know. I just the sound of you moving that was like
I don't know what's going on here.
an atrocity.
I don't get it. Ever.
Oh, TTS. Oh boy.
Okay.
All right. Um, let's fester your horse, and then do one to you with the Chant of Revenge. Say go.
Yeah, what? How did you just throw? Oh, just
It had a token
okay.
on it from my anchor knot. It just does one to you.
Okay. Go ahead and summon a mirror. You decide if I like.
Okay. That card seems better than I thought it was gonna be.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's just like a very cheap summon.
It costs 2 dice, so you're actually below the curve on a 1-2. I mean, I just not been able to force exhaustion on your side,
Yeah.
or on my side, been able to make profitable attacks. So, which is the idea was use the horses for profitable, and then summon a spirit as a 3-2. Did not and has not worked out up to the. Haven't been able to put that.
All right. I will attack your mirror spirit with my Risk Gold. Okay.
Token on.
Yep. Then no side action. Go ahead.
And my basic is your. Oh,
What does this thing do? Let's discard a card, my whole turn, and a basic to kill. Okay. Okay.
here we go.
Can't attack blocker card. All right. I'm gonna kill the mind maze thing.
Okay.
And I guess it's your turn.
Jungle Warrior, I'll attack your Rin for 2.
I accept.
Are you guys supposed to go with the
Um,
hollow there?
do you think you're supposed to attack the hollow?
Well, because if he dies, I
I,
get a status token on the mirror spirit, so then mirror spirit can kill your hollow. Whereas right now you
most likely anything that you attack, I'm just gonna block with Rin anyway.
sure
Um,
I force that exhaustion. Yeah, that's my turn.
okay. I'll attack your mirror spirit with my hollow. No side.
Passing.
Um, let's see. Do I want to play an egg or not? Nope, I'll pass. No side. All right, it is your go, sir.
Yep, yep.
I should have made it 1-1 last turn. That was bad.
Guess we'll try to make a stallion.
You got it.
Side action for the turn. Card. Discard.
Okay.
And it's your go.
All right. I will play Summon Fallen. Side action, I'll play Chant of Worship. Go ahead. I do
Okay.
only have a spellboard of 4, but because there's so many stupid tokens, I spread it out.
Yeah, that's fine. Um, Go ahead and
Okay. Okay. I will main action, play a vampire. Side action, put an ice bluff on the vampire. Go ahead. Okay.
side action.
Torrent, yeah.
Doing it again. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. Main action, I'm going to use a Chant of Worship and draw a card. Side action, I'll use a Chant of Revenge and do a damage to you. Go ahead.
Go ahead and torrent. We'll attack with all.
So attack Phoenix Born with the team.
2, 4, 6, 8.
I think that kills you if you do that.
I can't win anyways. I'm putting the pressure on best I can because there's no way to survive no matter what. Like I can't trade favorably with you no matter what. So like even giving you a full turn off of the vampire doesn't give me enough time. So like I'm just conceding the game to you at
I
this
mean,
point.
yeah, I was gonna say I'll just take 8 and then crack back.
Yep, I don't have any ways in this deck to favorably trade with vampire. I thought Squall Stallions might be able to get there, but I just can't because I can't guard the Stallion from the vampire. I don't have enough time to set the Stallion up.
Yeah, I think Vampire is very good. It might be the best one. Like, I guess it's hard to say. Of the 3/4s that I played last week, it might be the best one. I'm not sure though. The battle advantage on the Battle Seer guy is pretty good.
Sonic Swordsman's all.
What?
Sonic Swordsman is also probably pretty good.
Yeah, I mean he's very very good. Obviously, I think he's worse than Vampire and Battleseer, but only by 5% or whatever the difference actually is.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
also hard to know. Like you have to take into account the dice that you get
mhm.
along with them.
So I just think it's a situation where this particular deck, I don't see how it can pull off a win. I mean, obviously we see the I don't see a strategy or an outlet that allows the deck to do that. And I'm not very impressed with Mind Maze as a whole. I think it's very good.
But
It's
yeah, it will not. It's not good when you're behind. Is the thing. It's excellent at putting pressure on if you're applying pressure in other ways.
sure.
Um, but if you're behind, then it doesn't do a lot because like and against decks that have a lot of like random actions that don't change the board state, uh like my deck just has like a lot of things where I can just like, okay, well I'll do this turn and
Hmm.
not really change anything, just activate like the chance and stuff. Then you know you you want to be in a situation where like the turn runs out before you get a real chance to mind maze. But
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm not sure what the correct Fiona
I,
build
I,
is, but it's definitely not this. I can tell you that. This is a pile of garbage. Um,
I mean, my deck is a grindy monstrosity. Like it is. This is about as close to a control deck as I think that.
well, I think you got away from me on the ice buffs. I just don't have any good sources of direct damage, and that's probably just a question of like there's not very many sympathy card or not sympathy charm cards in this deck, and so it makes me just wonder whether or not it would be better played with just like more nature, where I'd
Right. I
have
I
where I'd have
think that
more
you went a
control.
little too deep on the status counters in general
Well, the
because you invested so heavily in the horse, like, and then when the horse gets killed, then you're down like 3 cards or whatever.
well, you're not really because they go back to your deck. I mean, so if you're not if it's a card that has
Oh,
no value in that given circumstance, which almost every card I pitched had no value. Fiona's ability is a little trickier because you want to be pitching ready spells, and so that essentially means you have to sort of build your ready spell board up and have ready spells that you want to have focus on. So that's why I have the mirror spirits, and I also have auguries for Fiona's ability because I can just pitch the ready spells and then use the essence druid to recover them. But which kind of makes her ability then sort of zero ish. I mean, it's like 0.5 or whatever, but it just didn't work out that way. So, I just think the deck is too slow to be proactive enough to get anything done. So, I have 5 basics
I have
open.
4 basics.
Um, all right. Well, I'm gonna side spending this. Discard a mirror spirit.
You
Draw
put it on
3.
the bottom, right? That's
No,
the
choose one creating place on the bottom of your drop. I was thinking it was a discard. Then I'm gonna put this card.
yeah. New ideas is just a dagger in my heart.
I think it's fine. I mean, it is what it
I
is.
missed the discard draw card thing.
So that was my side
That's why.
action. Main action will be mirror spirit. And then here you go.
All right. Main action, I will play a Magic Siphon. Side action, I will play a Chant of Worship.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Main action, focus.
What does it do when it's focused?
It just says that you may remove all status tokens from a mirror spirit you control. If you removed at least one status token, place one exhaustion token on a target unit.
That's kind of neat. So you can like make an O2 and tap one of my guys.
Well, I have to put a status token on it. So I have to be able to make a 1/2 because I have to be able to remove the status token to do it.
Right, but right. I'm
Yeah,
assuming that you'll be able to, and then you make an O2 and
right.
yeah, and this.
So that was my main. Uh, Side action is going to be meditate through.
Okay. Main action, I will play a Summon Fallen. Side action, I will play a Chant of Revenge.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Play a horse. Or at least the.
Yeah. I'm gonna play a River Scald.
Okay.
Just draw one. And I will put an Ice Bluff on him.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and summon a Stallion.
Okay.
Draw card. Side action will be Fiona's ability to guard the augury.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna meditate.
Okay.
Again. So this, and then I'll meditate one more, two more, just one more. I think. I'm gonna play Anchor Knot as my main.
Okay.
Do damage to your Stallion. Go ahead. Yep.
Go bottom or top?
I think that's correct. Yep, top or bottom.
I should have drawn a card. So hold on. I forgot to draw from this.
Oh yeah, that's pretty important to how the stallion works.
Yep.
Be way worse otherwise. So then you do have to put one back, right? Did you
I
do that?
did. Yeah. That's
Okay.
why I have 3.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna side action, get back a vampire, and then play a vampire. Take one. Go ahead.
Side action. I don't need
Our chat is so quiet tonight.
Oh, it is. Um,
I blame you.
Probably my fault.
Be more alluring.
Alluring.
Yeah,
Uh,
take your top off or something.
I
Is
mean,
that gonna get us banned? Is
probably,
that gonna get us
probably.
demonetized?
Yeah, I do have my tribute to. You can't really see it in my chat or in the window, but I do have my Boba Fett shirt on in tribute to the new Mandalorian episode dropping tonight at midnight.
Man, I haven't watched any of it yet. Me?
I'm not sure
I
we.
have
I'm not sure we can be friends anymore.
look, I and here's the reason is because obviously I'm like the biggest Star Wars fan there ever was.
Sure.
I'm sure people will fight me on that, but whatever. Like, I was in Florida last year,
Mm-hmm.
staying with my sister and my brother-in-law and my baby niece.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it just happened to cover the entirety of the Mandalorian season. He's a big Star Wars fan too.
Mm-hmm.
So I made the point of watching every episode with him. So now I am patiently waiting to watch it until I go there again so I can watch it with my Star Wars husband in Florida.
I'm gonna attack your in for 4 with both stallions because you're gonna eat them. But
I will block one with the anchor knot.
yep.
Get some counters here. Okay. Well, I guess the main action first will be draw a card with chant.
Okay.
And then side action will be do damage to you with other chant.
Okay.
Let's say go.
Drop the summon Gilder.
Okay.
Side act.
I guess I should have attacked last turn because if you torrent this turn, then I have to trade my Scald for your
I'm
guy.
exhausted. I can't.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, yeah.
Like I can't. So like I chose to just try to get a little board pressure and do a little damage to your Phoenixborn over trying to protect the Stallions because I can't protect the
Yeah.
Stallions. So um in an ideal scenario I would have had one more sympathy die, which is yet another example of why I went too deep on charm on this, because if I had just played 5th copy of sympathy die, then I could have summoned a mirror spirit and been able to exhaust your vampire with the mirror spirit's focus.
Yeah.
So like I just I'm just in an awkward position across the board. So the best I could do was kill your anchor knot and do 2 damage to your Phoenixborn. Everything else doesn't matter.
We'll only get to kill one of your horses because you'll get to block with Fiona.
Sure.
Um,
That's true. But
but yeah, you're okay.
yeah.
So I did
I'm
that stuff in past. You did
I'm
this, and then oh, it's my
passing.
turn.
Yep, I'm
Yeah.
passing main.
Okay. So I will. Uh, Main action, send my River Scald into your damaged horse.
Okay. Well,
and then no side action. Well, I
Oh,
guess I will side action.
maybe I'm supposed to block that
It depends on whether
because
you want.
I can't
Like,
guard
you
the
need to
other
decide
one
if
because of the Master Vampire's ability. Like the
right. You
vampires,
have yeah. You should block here because you
yeah,
can't block Master
yeah.
Vampire.
So I'm just gonna block take two.
Yeah, that's right. Um, and then I guess my side action will be use Siphon
Yeah,
and turn your Charm dice down,
yeah.
and then I'll say go because I don't think chain doing anything to the nature dice does anything. Maybe the
No,
charm isn't good
uh,
either. But I'm super excited to watch The Mandalorian. It's very difficult for me not to. It's like hurting my insides every day.
I hear you, man. Yeah, I don't know what the correct path here is now. I think I probably just play Gilder just to have it on the battlefield. It allows me to do one, but I don't think it matters because I recover so high. So, um, maybe it matters. I'll do one to the Scald,
Okay.
and then I'll meditate that up.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna send my vampire into your other horse,
Yep, can't do anything.
undamaged one. So I'll heal from the Phoenixborn, and I have no side. So they go to you.
Yeah, I'll do one to the Scald with nature ability.
Okay, another one on Scald. Um, and then you're passing as your main.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna main action make a fallen
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna forget to use this time. And then no side.
Okay.
Um, and all. I guess your go.
Pass.
Still pass. All right, I'll attack your horse with my fallen.
I'll defend with the Gilder.
Okay. Is it O2?
Yeah.
I thought it was the O1.
No.
All right, that was a bad attack. I guess it wouldn't have mattered either way because you would have just blocked with Gilder regardless of what I attacked.
Right.
So meh. All right, your go.
All right. Pass.
Pass. The last time I wasn't using my uh fallens because I wanted to like save up and get more fallens.
Mm-hmm.
But as it turned out, like I still had plenty of tokens and I could have just done maximum anyway, and I still just made a couple 1/1s.
I just think it's a product of my deck can't pressure you, so the fallen really doesn't matter. Like if I'm pressuring you, then the fallen matters. There's nothing pressuring you in the deck. And I
Hmm.
wondered if I could get away with not playing a 3/4, with the Essence Druid essentially sort of playing into that realm, but
Essence Druid is very close to the level of those other things.
how about that? Been good.
Did you go first last time?
Yeah, it's your turn. I had
Okay.
5 basics from
Oh yeah, because you're very good. Look, just roll less basics. That's all
yeah,
there is.
something like
Okay. Um, I get to draw some cards too. Um, I guess main action. I'm just gonna send the vampire after the horse.
yeah. will counter for 2.
Yep. Then side action, I'll put an ice bluff on the vampire.
Okay.
Oh god, DTS. Oh, please stop. There we go.
I'm gonna main
All you.
a Swole Stallion. Side action of
Oh god.
Fiona's ability discarding Stallion. Be this Swole.
Okay. Let's go.
Is quiet.
I know Taylor scared everybody away with his Boulder's Gate. He's addicted to that game, man. I hear it's pretty good, but I don't want to buy it until it's like the whole game. It's like the first 3 chapters in early access or whatever right now.
Right. I am
Um,
I am not sanity.
All right, I'm gonna side action the Magic Siphon. I'm gonna do both my own.
Okay.
Go those 2. And then main action, I'm going to play a hollow. I'm going to turn down your Horsehead and one of your
Yeah,
charm classes.
that's 2 dice. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that goes down 1. That goes down to
Go ahead.
summon a Stallion.
All right. You gonna torrent me?
I'm thinking about it. That's probably the only meaningful side action I can do, but I'm trying to decide if I want to just ping your hollow down with my nature die right now.
Oh,
Which is probably better than you getting to ice buff it. I guess you can't ice buff this turn,
I
right?
can't ice. I can't ice bluff. Yeah. Um, ice buff because he's exhausted.
All right, let's shoot your hollow.
Okay. Hollow down. Just put some counters on. Um, as a reaction here, I'm gonna. Is this what I want to do? This seems okay. I will spend class basic and shatter pulse.
I don't even know.
Um,
Destroy
the,
target unit. You may change 2 die.
yeah, so I'll kill a horse.
Okay.
I'm gonna change 2 die in my pool. Um, then for my main action, I will draw a card with. Maybe I'm just supposed to attack here. I'm gonna draw a card. Side action, I'll do 1 to you with the Chant of Revenge. Go ahead.
go ahead and this spirit.
All right.
Status token. I go ahead and cost send the status token from the focus ability of the book to
Okay. Scald down. I'm gonna side action the ceremonial. Go get an anchor knot. I'm going to place an anchor knot and finish off your gilder.
the status.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just
Back to 5 viewers. Talk to us, viewers.
yeah. Man, I am sitting in a great place, but I'm gonna go ahead.
Okay.
And it will be go no.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna go main action, play Magic Siphon. Side action, use ceremonial power to get a River Scold into my hand. Go ahead.
Warrior's gonna attack your river.
Okay. River Scold down. Um, I will uh, attack Horse with Fallen. Okay. Side action, I will use the Mystic Siphon, turn your charm die down. Go ahead. It turns it to a class. I just,
Oh,
or
okay.
wait, do I choose the level? Oh, side of my choice. Yeah, I'll make it a basic. That's a weird one that they like decided that one goes to any side.
Yeah, kind of is. Okay. Main action, Mirror Spirit will attack your vampire for 1.
I'll block with the Rin.
Side action.
Okay.
Sometimes TTS drive me nuts.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. My main is gonna be make a fallen. Um, no side.
Okay. Stallion will attack. Well, yeah, Stallion will attack. Hold on, I got a side action. I'm gonna
Yeah.
amplify.
What does that do?
Gives a zero cost attacker, a zero attack power attacker plus 3 attack. Stallion
Okay.
will attack vampire for 3.
All right. Um, main action, I'll have fallen attack horse. Side action, I will ceremonial back a vampire. Go ahead.
Pass.
All right.
No,
Main
I'm
action.
gonna side pass. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna pitch this guy on torrent. Don't want on the top it.
All
And
right.
then I'll pass.
Main action, I'm gonna fester your horse. No side.
Pass.
Okay, pass.
Yep. Hmm.
Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
Sorry. Um.
I thought maybe you were like dancing around or something. I'm not watching the stream, but
No, no. Yeah, if I
we
start
got we
dancing,
got a
I,
sixth.
I forgot to tell you, upgraded the whole studio with a pole back here for
Oh,
pure entertainment purposes only.
yeah. We got a sixth viewer, so I thought maybe I should tune in and like see if you were crushing a watermelon between your thighs or something like that.
I've been working on those abductors. What can I tell you? Oh my goodness, man. Yep. No, I'm trying to
On
decide
a
what I
quiet
want
night, I'm trying to get some spice.
to get. You're trying to get a little extra spice going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I don't know what I want to do here. Like it's this deck just doesn't have obvious plays, and so it sort of leaves me in a weird place where let's attack with the Mirror Spirit for. 1.
At Rin or what?
Yeah, at Rin.
Okay, I'm gonna take 1.
Yeah. And then side action will be no side.
Okay. I'm gonna play Summon Fallen
Yeah.
as my main action.
Yep.
And then my side action is gonna be use a magic siphon. I'm gonna do both me.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So in an ideal scenario, we're gonna cast.
Well, you know I have a vampire and a scald. You saw me
Yeah,
return
yeah, I
those.
know. That's why I'm saying, like, I know you're gonna be able to do 3, so it doesn't make any sense for me to play Stallion into that. Um, like it just doesn't. So I'm gonna go Horse Head, Charm, and a basic, and play an Essence Druid instead.
Okay.
That's gonna allow me to search up out of my discard pile, and Amplify should be in here.
I really like that card,
Or
by the
not
way. I like.
Amplify. Yeah, Amplify is cool, right?
I'm talking about Essence Druid.
Oh yeah.
I think Amplify is fine. Yeah. I just particularly like Essence Druid a lot.
Summon an Empower. And then I will
Okay.
cast the.
Empire's a side too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this card's sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your turn, sir.
Um. Well, I'm going to draw a card with Chant of Worship.
Uh-huh.
And then my side will be play second Chant of Worship.
Okay.
Then say go.
Jungle Warrior will attack your Ren for 2.
Okay. I'm gonna block with Anchornaut. Make a million counters.
Yep.
Okay. Um. I'm gonna play River Scold.
Okay.
I think. No. I'm just gonna play Vampire.
Okay. A straight up hard cast the Vamp.
Yes, that is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
And then I'm going to ice buff the Vampire.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Going to spend this die to make a Mirror Spirit. I'm going to remove this status token from this Mirror Spirit to exhaust your Vamp.
Okay.
This Mirror Spirit comes in with 2 because I'm choosing myself as.
All right. I'm gonna play River Scald. I'm gonna throw a River Scald at your untapped Mirror Spirit.
Yep.
Side action will be Magic Siphon. I'll do my Ceremonial to top, and then your Charm down one, down to basic.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Um, Go ahead and pitch Augury side and I suppose this doesn't really matter. Pull this off. This is not a good play. uh, yes, we'll take 3 on side for meditate. This deck needs that gates run. The gates run open. The one that's costs you a main action to. Oh, Neil. Neil, are you there?
Oh,
Yeah, there we
did
go.
I lose you?
I lost you for a while there. I was talking and you weren't responding, so I don't know if Discord messed up or what happened. But
Jesse?
yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
I guess Discord caught back up.
Real quiet, and then there was nothing.
Yeah, I was talking. I meditated 3. Um, I know you can bring a scald back, but you can't cast a scald, so I'm not so.
I cannot.
So I think I'm in a okay shape to go ahead and at this point summon a stallion.
Yeah, it'll trade for some stuff.
Maybe.
I have nothing in play currently that like kills it in one.
Maybe I should summon a mirror spirit. I have a mirror spirit left.
just as like a 2/2.
Yeah,
I think a 2/2 is fine here.
it's got to be better than an
Do you have the ability to
X03.
summon a mirror spirit this turn and then a horse later? What do these cost?
I could. All I would have left is one horse left at this point. Not that that's a big deal, but I'll take a mirror spirit here.
Yeah, I think a 2/2 is better than an 0/3.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. I will attack your mirror spirit with one of my fallen.
Mm, okay, take the one.
And then I'll ding you with the Chanter Revenge. Go ahead. Did you die again?
No, I'm thinking.
Oh, it's kind of the same thing.
um,
Dead.
I am probably just dead on board.
Yeah, it's not looking great for you.
I'm gonna attack. Um, attack your Scald for 2.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'll counter.
So
All right. What?
this match, our matches would have both gone to time. I'm sure that some of that's TTS, but some of it's neither one of us are really able to pressure the other person very well. Even exhaustion on that.
Yeah, I know it's underneath because TTS things. I think in a real match, we would not have gone to time.
Probably not.
Um, I'm going to make a couple fallen here.
Okay. It doesn't exhaust the spell.
What?
No. Just spin the dice. Make fallen.
Jesus.
Yeah.
This card's broken
It's super good.
because I get 2 of them
Right.
for no exhaustion.
Right. And one die.
Good God.
Yep. As long
That
as you,
feels real dirty.
it's dirty.
Do I have a side action? I don't think so. I'll say go.
Okay.
Real dirty.
Are you up against your battlefield limit yet? What's Ren's
I have
battlefield?
6.
6? Okay. So you're
I'm
at
getting there.
5, right? So
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to make 2 more fallen unless one of them died.
right.
This card is busted.
I don't know what my correct path is. Um it's tricky.
Essence Druid does a good job of not dying to fallen, although.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I was like,
She's
I guess I can't ever attack this Essence Druid, but
that's true. But I'm not killing you either with it. This feels really bad.
What?
It doesn't feel like this is a good exchange, but I don't want to spend 2 dice here. So I want to go like this. I'm going to invigorate, put a single status counter on this spirit, and then I'll use the focus ability on my book. Put an extra exhaustion counter on. Pass on main.
Don't you have to activate the book to do that?
No, it doesn't say that.
I thought the focus only happened when you actually activated the book.
How can I remove all status tokens from a mirror spirit I control when I activate it? Like I'd have like there's a point in time in there where I wouldn't have the unit, right?
Right, it's just like the following turn, but
Place one status token on. I have to exhaust.
wait, why are you doing that?
That's the other part of
Okay.
it. Oh no, it's just your guy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this works. I guess because I would assume
Well,
that
I think it matters very little, so I'll tap my guy. But I think that
I put it on a master
text on the book
vampire. I wanted to
only
double.
happens when you actually pay for the book activation. But we can find out in the chat comments or whatever.
Yeah.
So on my turn, I will fallen attack mirror spirit.
Pick one.
Okay, say go.
Um. Druid will attack an untapped fallen.
I'll block with Thurin.
Yep. Side action, shoot an untapped fallen.
Okay. Fallen down. Fallen attack mirror spirit. Say go. Make 2 fallen. Say go. All right, fallen attack mirror spirit. Say go.
Yes.
Fallen attack Zephyr cover. Yeah, fallen attack Phoenix Born.
Yep.
Say go.
Yes.
Okay. I also pass now.
I am not. I'm just gonna put. That's okay.
Oops.
You are up.
All right, it is my turn.
Mm-hmm.
I will I'm just gonna attack with 5 fallen at your Phoenix Born.
You have just one chant up. 5 go.
Side action, I'll do one with a chant. Go ahead. I guess maybe that's a misplay, but
I think it depends on if you've got a board wipe or not.
no, I don't have anything like that in the deck.
And side action. Machine.
Yeah, so I might have killed myself by making that play.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
I think you probably did because you've got a full board, right? So unless you can wipe your own board somehow, it's possible. I have to still do 9, and I've got 2, 4.
well, assuming that I can do actual nothing, like 9 is easy for you, right? You like, I guess I assume it's easy for you
I don't think
because
it's
you get to
easy,
make. I mean, you have 4 guys. You can make another.
right? But if like if we just go to pass, like right, like I can't. I have to like attack druid, attack warrior,
Right.
and
You go make a stallion,
yep, torrent.
attack
No,
with one of your
I
dudes for
yeah, make a
2.
stallion's torrent, then
Right,
attack
right.
torrent.
Because
Yeah,
so I would actually die. So if I don't attack for 5, I think I win the game easily. But we're like over time.
sure.
So if I attack for 5 like that, chat, I lose. I have killed myself. That was very dumb because I don't actually have a way to remove my own guys.
Yeah,
If I don't attack for 5, I think I easily win. If I
yeah,
just like, but it will take another 15 minutes or whatever as we play out this round.
yeah.
Um, because I'll just like trade my fallens off, make 4 more fallens, and kill you.
Well, Fallen himself, it doesn't. Fallen doesn't trigger the summon Fallen book, right? No. So
No, but like so let's say I don't attack for 5 with my guys and I just like attack fallen into your jungle warrior.
mhm,
Like you can block with your Fiona, that's fine, take 1. You would be at 6.
mhm,
Take 1 from chant, go to 5. Then you make a stallion. Next turn I attack jungle warrior again with fallen.
mhm,
You can decide not to counter, take 1.
mhm,
Um, but like eventually you have to attack. Like I'll just start like using my random book actions.
mhm,
Um, I have 2 turns of taking off, draw a card and stuff. And eventually you have to attack or pass. And I'll block with a fallen and make space for uh, an anchor knot or a hollow or something
sure.
that will trade again and charge up the books. And once the books are charged, then you will die.
Yeah.
Um, but like because I played greedily and I just like looked at the time and didn't look at the math and I'm like, okay, attack with all my men.
Fair enough. I mean,
Uh,
I definitely don't think this deck is good. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you I don't think this deck is good. So,
but I had a lot of fun playing my deck. I think
yeah,
that the I think someone fallen after you played it against me last week. It seems really really good.
it is good.
Um, but you can't do what I just did. You have to like slowly and take out their men by like just attacking for 1 a bunch.
Right.
Um, because then you're just getting ridiculous card advantage where you start trading off these dudes that you got just essentially from playing the game up to this point.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, like Essence Druid is really brutal on Fallen though.
yeah, I could never trade my Fallen for Essence Druid, but I was just at that point, assuming that you are able to just tap out my Vampire, um, at that point, I was just going to ignore the Essence Druid because
Mhm.
I don't care if you attack me for 2 or you attack a Fallen or whatever. Um,
Yeah, and actually, I could have just if I'd have just summoned Mirror Spirit there, since you had a board of 6 wiped out. I have a 6 attack Mirror Spirit then, and then like so.
right, attacking all was really bad.
Yeah.
Like I was very reckless and dumb and trying to get done in the time for the stream. But uh, in general, I think my deck is very good. I think that your deck is fine, but it's like a little too deep on the charge counters.
Well, I don't know if again I'm not sure that that the stallion is tanky enough. You have to somehow commit to protecting the stallion, and how are you going to do that?
Right. It has to be like, does he overlap with Steadfast Guardian, like his colors?
You can play Steadfast Guardian with the stallion, I think, but
Oh,
I
it
think
doesn't overlap though, because
no,
he's a Sympathy and Stallion is Divine,
right?
or not Stallion. Steadfast Guardian is
It's
Divine
divine,
Charm.
right? So
Um,
you've got to have like three
like you
color.
could play like Leo.
Yeah, but if you're gonna play Leo, like I think the best thing you're gonna do with Leo is just play owls and mill an opponent to death. Like
I think that that deck is a lot worse now that the Leo bird doesn't have like make stuff target it.
right.
You know, before the Leo bird was both unit guard and it like redirected the spells. So I think the owls are worse
So I was just looking at
now.
like reasonably low costed things that made some sense. I mean, because the deck was going to get a ton of cards, and so I needed to be able to use low cost items. Um, New ideas is going to give you a bunch of cards. Fiona's, the Stallion's going to give you cards. I mean, it's like you get a bunch of cards, so you're going to get all these cards. What are you going to do with them, right? And if you have a bunch of really expensive stuff, where you're only going to cast two or three things in a given round, that's going to be difficult because I mean, just playing Stallion twice is 40% of your turn, right? So plus you lost a card from the Fiona ability to do that while you drew two, but then you're starting to pitch your other cards to torrents from Stallions. So
Right. If you go make Stallion, Fiona, make Stallion, torrent once, you've made two 1/3s and broken even on cards.
sure,
And you've at I mean at the cost of like four actions and four dice.
I just don't
Three
think
actions
I
and
just
four
don't
dice.
think 1/3s are good enough. I mean,
Right.
that's
I agree. I agree with you.
yeah,
I think that Stallion is okay.
yeah.
It's
It's
just there's because things like River Scald exist and all these 3/4s, like it just sucks that you have to like your guy could eventually get huge theoretically, but you
I
have to
think
waste so much
I
time. And then
think
as
you'd
soon
have
as you've
to
discarded a couple cards to it and it dies, then you feel really
I
bad.
think you'd have to play some sort of alteration on it to get value, and you just summon one Stallion and not try to exploit the torrent on two Stallions play. Like if that happens, then great, but I'm not convinced that that's actually a good thing overall. Obviously, it's better advantage than some, but like this deck just still needed a 3/4. Like, and ultimately, what I should have done is gone into something that allowed me to play, Hammer Knight, or like in your case, right, you were playing Master Vampire, right? So I should have been just playing something that gave me a 3/4. But at that point, really, how different are the decks, right? If it's just going to come down to who plays 3/4s and when.
Well,
um,
this my deck specifically has a bunch of card advantage in it, like
sure,
which is like really grindy.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, that's what Chant of Worship and all of those books that are going to play status tokens
right.
for.
This is yeah. When a few weeks ago when I was talking about Chant of Revenge and how bad I thought it was, like I'm still playing it, but it's by far the worst thing I'm doing.
Yeah,
The Fallen and the Chant of Worship are both really good
yep,
and really grindy. And obviously, it just like River Scald is broken. Like
yeah,
even when I just played it as a 2/2 draw card, it was still so good.
yeah. I mean, I think
Um,
it's cool. Like I
and
find all of those things to
and
be positives.
and I was very impressed with Rin's ability. I thought it was just gonna be very meh. I chose him because of this card, like the Rin loyalty card, that I thought was very cool.
Hmm.
Um, but the ice buff was actually like legitimately important to the game. So uh,
This is the first time I've played against Rin, so I agree. The ice buff felt very powerful.
yeah,
I mean,
like I just had like a board full of actions I didn't have to spend any dice on.
it's a,
Chant and
it's
Siphon and
essentially, I
Rin.
mean, it's a weaker version of gravity training, but it's for free, right?
Right, but
So,
it's the good half of gravity training, right? Like it's
right,
the half
yeah,
that
that's the side you
like
care about. The side you care about is the life side. So,
right.
yeah, I mean, I think Rin's going to be a really really good Phoenixborn.
And this card like is a huge blowout. The Rin's Fury.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened to be funny that it doesn't kill Squall Stallion.
Yeah,
But otherwise, I think that card's really good.
yeah. I think
Um,
I think at the end of the day, I'm not sure that Fiona's ability is relevant enough. I can't picture a ready spell in my mind in this card pool right now that really wants her ability.
right,
And
like using it to draw a card is almost better
sure, I
because it has mode of like draw a card instead.
yeah, but I mean, like that's just a loot, right? At that point, I mean, it's just
Right.
looting.
Which is looting
Fine,
is fine, right? Like
right? It's fine.
it's it's free, right? Other than that, like
Yeah, I mean, you can
yeah,
only do
so
it
just
once
like side
around.
action loot,
Yeah,
that's okay.
yeah.
Her stats are like her life is kind of bad, but
I think her life is too low.
and I still think that Mind Maze is a good card. I think that you have to be an aggressive deck, like a pressure deck, so that they don't have the time to deal with it. Um,
And I'm not sure.
because
Maybe I follow in
most
what you mean by that. So, are you talking about like? Are you talking about a tempo
like
deck where you're playing a bunch of big units, or are you talking about low to the ground, like a bunch of 1/1s
e-
that are pressuring? I mean,
either one of those is fine, but you just like the deck that you built, this deck that you played today, like it doesn't present threats. It presents like card advantage engines because all your threats are like off of a book.
mhm,
So you have to play the book, and you have to activate the book, and then you have to pump the horse.
mhm,
Like the kind of deck that wants a mind maze is the kind of deck that's going to play like a silver samurai or a sonic samurai or whatever. Like put a threat into play and then follow it up with a mind maze.
yeah,
Because then like most of the time your mind maze is going to be like, well, you can't block, and then like while you're spent then they maybe take a turn off to kill the mind maze and you get to play another threat. Or
mhm.
if you have two threats in play and you play mind plays, I assume that you win combat easily against everything because like you can it's it's not like a real removal spell. It's more like a bounce spell, like a boomerang almost,
Right.
because it just removes it for a while until they put like resources back into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. No.
um so like I think that it is a good card and it's powerful, but you just the only way you really leverage it is by like having uh it doesn't have to be specifically wide or specifically tall or whatever. Just like put some threats into play and then play it, and then all of a sudden combat is great for you, right? Like
Maybe I wonder if Fiona or if she would benefit from a mount deck with it, right? Where you could play like Anchor and Ironworkers and low cost units, but then you can turn them into much bigger units through your books.
if the mount like the thing you really want to do with Mind Maze is you want to like have a book that's a side action or a guy that's a side action. So you
I
can
think
play
that's
Mind
only
Maze as your main
the
and then deploy a threat as a side.
isn't that just the Light Sworn Swordsman or whatever I played last week? I think that's the only
That
unit.
guy's fine, yeah.
I mean, it's a 2/1.
Um,
It's whatever, but it's a side action. I mean, I just feel like you're
I guess you can never Mind Maze and then attack, and that
no,
makes it a little worse.
right.
Um,
It feels like it needed to be a side action, right? Like,
I think it'd be absurd then, but yeah, I agree. It's like in a weird place. I'm
yep.
trying to think of how you would actually get there, because what I know there are summons that are side actions. Um,
Yeah, there
not
are
sure what they
some. Well,
are off the top of my
Noah's
head.
wolves, but I mean, that you can't play
Well,
this
you
with
can't play
Noah's.
both of
Right,
those.
right. So
I don't
I
know. I still think the card is very powerful.
I think the
Like,
effect is powerful. I think that it's very difficult to find a way to make it work. I think you have to have an established board state, and then you have to be
right,
able to. You have, like you said, you have to already be winning. And if you're not already winning, then it does nothing for you. Like it doesn't give
right,
you.
and you don't have to be like winning. You just have to have like you said, like a board state,
You have to have the
because the
tempo,
mind maze will break the board state.
right? You have to have tempo.
Like, yeah,
You have to have tempo, and if you don't have tempo, then you're not gonna get there. And that's what happened in this deck. I could never get tempo. I kind of had tempo in game two a little bit more just through the process of like playing second Squall Stallion into two torrent, torrent and attack, and like just
Yeah.
being okay with sacrificing my two threes for value,
Also,
like for power. But
I think that I might like obviously the best case scenario for Mind Maze, your opponent has no cards in hand.
sure,
Um, and there was definitely a game state in this match. I think only one time where I like passed you with no cards in hand, and if you had played it, then it would have just killed my guy for
well,
sure.
I definitely don't think you can mind maze into Chance of Worship, right? Like you just can't. Like you can't. It's to that point. Like you can't feed the hand out. So I mean, maybe mind maze is better if you are playing hand disruption, but then Chant of Worship gets around that a little bit too. So, um, I mean that's just a healthy meta. But
Right. Yeah. I mean, this match was one-sided like going in, but
yeah,
I think that some of what you were doing is good. Like I was surprised that like I guess Stallion was worse than I thought it was going to be, but
yep.
Mirror Spirit was better.
Mirror Spirit seems really awesome. Like I'm
Um,
I'm really digging Mirror Spirit a lot.
yeah,
Like
that card seemed cool.
it's a super cool control threat, right? Like it's
It's just like it's just a good summon.
yeah.
I mean, even if you make like I guess if they never have any men, then it's bad. But if they're not playing dudes either, like, do you really care if your O2 is an O2?
It's not that bad if you're doing that. I think Empower is also interesting. Like playing a bunch of Mirror Spirits and then having the opportunity to like empower for just pinging damage off of them seems really solid. This is another example. Like I don't think I think that's just a passive ability, an inexhaustible ability. Those focuses. I'll double check the rules on them, but that's
Yeah, we should definitely double check that. But um,
so
otherwise,
I'll
I
ask.
I really enjoyed the deck that I played today. I think
Yeah,
it's very good. I think that Mirror Spirit was a standout in your deck. I still really like Essence Druid.
I
Um,
like Gilder a ton.
yeah, he was cute. The unit guard is good, right? Like
Yeah.
he's obviously meant to be alongside the Stallion,
Well,
so
or the
you can
spirit,
protect it from an attack.
or anything that cares about status tokens. So you could put them alongside Silver Snakes. Not in this deck, obviously, but in a Mayoni deck, you run Gilder with Silver Snake, and that just makes your Silver Snake stronger. Um, it's sort of doing the same thing that the Stallion's doing. I think Stallion and Silver Snake are very, very similar. Um, so we'll see. I mean, I want to play Mayoni.
The
I think
difference the difference between 3 and 4 toughness is really big.
huge. It's enormous.
Yeah. So
So
Snake, I think Snake's a lot better.
yeah, I do think Snake's better. But they are very similar cards, right? Like at the end of the day, they're very. I think that I think the game is leaning into alterations a little bit more in Reborn than it was in 1.0.
I still will never play uh, a card that's just an alteration in my deck, but Gravity Training and Rin, the abilities that like make more than one of them seem to be powerful.
Well, I mean, okay, so by that token, then Mind Maze is terrible because it's an alteration, right? Like,
No, Mind Maze, sorry, alterations that go on your units.
yeah. I got it.
It's
I
very
think I
different.
think Regress is one from nature that's probably pretty good, where you can give your opponent's unit a -3 attack. That card
Doesn't it have
seems
fleeting? I don't remember if it has
it
fleeting
does
or
it
not.
does have fleeting, but it's at the end. The fleeting's at the end of the round, so
Yeah,
at least for the round, it's sort of a control
it's
tool
it's
for.
like a bad fight card because you can like put it on their guy and then freely attack their guy.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be fun to continue to play and explore the different decks. But I mean, I had fun tonight. I just knew like very early in game one that there was no way I was going to find an out.
yeah,
Um, and so game two was very much a similar sort of level of futility, but it was just sort of playing at a different play pattern to see if I was just not seeing something correctly. It reinforced exactly what I thought, which maybe you're right. Maybe I should have just played Mirror Spirits instead of Stallions, or just played Stallions instead of Mirror Spirits. But I just don't think the Stallions were tanky enough. The Mirror Spirit to me was one of those things where it was another protection tool for the Stallion, is how I saw it. Focus the spirit and just like protect your Stallion by exhausting your opponent's largest threats. But like obviously that doesn't play around Fester. Like you just festered me like 10 times in 2 matches, I
That
swear.
that card, well, I played it a total of 3 times, I think, but it was very good every time.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that card is just very powerful.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that's the kind of thing if you're attacking with a bunch of 1/1s, that's what you want with a is to be able to take out an opponent's large unit that you wouldn't normally be able to fight on a normal axis. So, I knew Fester was going to be good. So when you were playing Ceremonial, like, well, and Sympathy, I knew you were just playing Scalds, and the Vampire I knew was going to be in the deck too. I was surprised at how good I thought Magic Siphon was. Really, really good. That card
I
just
agree.
seemed.
It was better than I thought it was. I was trying it instead of the changing winds
Mhm,
that I had been playing all the decks just to see. Um, and I think that I still prefer changing winds.
mhm.
Um, but I'm not sure. It has
Yep.
a very different um feel.
Yep.
Like
It's just a different
because
card,
the
right?
right, they're both dice fixers, right? Like
Yeah, I mean, changing winds is
um
also a draw engine, right? It fills your hand.
right. So instead of being like Mystic Siphon or Magic Siphon is more like it's like opponent disruption.
Hmm.
And if it was always your opponent, I would for sure say that changing winds is better because I think drawing a card is very important
Hmm.
to the ability. But because it's also like an emergency button to double change on your bad rolls,
Hmm.
there's because I did both modes of it several times in the match, like
Yeah.
change yours or change double mine. Um,
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
so it's versatile, and I think that's unique, and it's cheaper on the first play.
Sure. And
Um,
I think that obviously if you like this deck was very telegraphed, right? Like you could look at my dice pool and know exactly what I was doing because the deck was telegraphed. It wasn't really what was in hand; it was what was sitting on the board. You knew exactly
right.
what was coming, so you could look at my dice pool pretty easily and manipulate it a little bit better, which is something that Illusion does also, right? Illusion dice power will do that's the Magic Siphon as well, but um, from just that half of Magic Siphon. But anyways, all right. Well, I mean, I had fun tonight. I'm hoping we can get back to in person cards next week. That would be much better. Definitely less frustrating from just an interface perspective because now my
Yeah,
TTS is running perfectly
and we
fine.
had some lag and stuff going on today,
Yep.
so apologize for that, chat. But
I think the
it was an
world.
interesting match, and
I think the world is wrecking the internet right now, trying to keep up
yeah,
with everything going on and out there.
and
But
we went way over time, but
yep.
we'll do a breakdown of these decks sometime, I assume.
Yeah, if you send me just a write up on it, I will. Maybe I'll just do like a one off in person video for it. Or we
Okay.
can
Yeah,
do
we can
that
record one
next
next
week,
week or
or
whatever.
just record it over the
Um,
weekend or something, and we'll
yeah,
get it posted up.
but it's 9 o'clock. Let's
Yep,
thank everybody for coming.
yep. Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
Betsy, for pole dancing.
I want to give a shout out. We forgot before we got started. Taser X followed us yesterday after our Flesh and Blood stream,
Thank you,
so yeah,
Taser.
appreciate it. And we will be back on Wednesday with Flesh and Blood,
More
and
flesh and blood.
watch the YouTube channel for these videos to come up if you want to watch these matches again. All right, thanks everybody. Have a good night.